So let's turn these headlights from this into this. We actually have something I've never tried before, but I've been seeing it all over the place, and we're going to try it and actually see if it works. So obviously I have some pretty ugly headlights, as well as when I was doing my clutch and everything, I spilled some brake fluid on that headlight, so it definitely got some little issues here and there. But now I have this. Let's open this up and take a peek at what's in here. And to keep this simple, I'm just going to keep these headlights on the car when we try to fix them. So inside of here, we're going to have some sandpaper, this weird coffee cup mechanism. I think this is acetone, a funnel, and a cigarette lighter. So, and of course it fell all the way down there. And I guess some masking tape. So, but this is like a vapor that will clean up your headlights. You're pretty much just gonna sand everything down, and then this, like I said, I think it's acetone. I don't know. It's literally sealed in a undisclosed cup. Let's see what the instructions say. I don't know what we're getting ourselves into, but hopefully this will work. All right, so now that everything's clean, we're going to take our masking tape, and this is just going to protect your paint from the sanding. All right, so it looks like in this kit we have 180, 280, 360, 600, 800, and 1200. So I ended up just ripping every piece of sandpaper in half, so I know that this sandpaper will be for this headlight, and then that sandpaper will be for that headlight, so I don't overuse one piece of sandpaper or not. Not that you really need to do this, but I'm just kind of prepping myself. But one other thing that I think is funny is, like, almost every one of these pieces of paper, like sandpaper, is like a different brand. Like, not even one of them is like the same exact brand. I think it's kind of funny, but I guess that's what happens when you get, I think, like I said, I think I paid 20 bucks on Amazon for this. But anyways, let's start with wet sanding. I do have some soapy water right here, so hopefully it will work.
3 days later.
So I'm obviously going to start with the heaviest one first and get rid of any big that was pretty aggressive, but there's still a spot right here I'm going to try to sand out. Alright, so I got a pretty even finish with the 180. Now we're going to hop onto the 280. So this headlight is pretty much sanded from the 180 all the way up to 1200, and the yellowing looks so much better than what this headlight looked like. So I don't know how much you guys can see from here, but this one is super cloudy. I mean, this one is obviously cloudy now too because I have sanded it, but there's no more yellowing. It's just nice and clear plastic. So now we're gonna dry this up, clean this up really good, and I think the next step is to go to the solution and let it heat up. So I'm not even sure how this goes. Looks like obviously it's gonna plug in here. There was like an O-ring thing. I just put it on here. That makes that a nice slit fit. And then this, I guess, plugs into here, but you have to plug it into your car. Hopefully I have enough length on here to actually reach my headlights. Okay, maybe there is plenty of length. So let's plug this up. I guess I got to turn on my car just to get this to work. So I guess we're gonna plug it in right here. And there's a red dot. So I'm not sure if this is supposed to heat up or not. But I guess with the windows down, there is enough room. So let me unplug this. And we gotta pour this solution in here and let it smoke out of here. So like I said, I have no idea what this stuff is. But it's definitely sealed pretty good.
You have no idea what that is?
Ooh, that stuff is pretty strong. It's like a blue-purple color almost. I don't know if you guys can see it. Probably not. It's really dark in there. But the lid is like a blue. So we're gonna pour this. So I don't know if you guys can now see that it's like blue-purple. But we'll put the lid on and we'll plug this in and then wait till it smokes. I'm not sure if on camera you can notice it or not, but it's not quite steaming, but if it is kind of like, like you can kind of see an outline of it like in real life kind of coming out. So let's get this close to the headlight and let's see. So it's cleaning it up, but for some reason I still have lots of scratches on my headlight. I'm not sure, this isn't working that good, honestly. Alright, I guess I was being very careless when I was doing this, and it looks like I had spilt this solution out of here. I was just kind of going back and forth, and I kind of shucked the thing up a little bit, and it literally dripped on my headlight and pretty much melted it. So I'm gonna have to sand all this out again and get this looking good. Like it definitely was working. It was definitely clearing it up. But if you still have some very rough scratches on your headlight, it's just gonna bring that out. And then, so this definitely needs a good sand and polish. Not using everything here. I think we need to go even farther, like 2,000 or 3,000 grit to help get more of these scratches out. Because this definitely does not look good. So let me go see if I can fix this and get this looking a little better now. So I ended up redoing this whole headlight, re-sanding it down, and probably on camera it looks really, really good. But if you get up close, there's a lot of little micro scratches inside the headlight. Obviously, just the way this is done, going only up to 1200. I don't have any extra sandpaper right now, but I do have polishing compound. So I'm going to try to just polish this up and get everything looking good. And again, to avoid what happened last time, I kind of left this up here because this stuff, I mean, it really doesn't do that good. I mean, you would expect it to, as soon as it hit it, it would do good, but like it doesn't give enough like smoke or like mist out of there, so it's very inconsistent. Using that mechanism probably took me like 10 minutes to get it where it is now. So, and I still see like little pieces of fog here and there, as well as over there. I'm just gonna try to get some polishing compound and just polish this up and see what I do. See if it makes it any better, worse, indifferent. But it definitely doesn't look bad from afar, and when you compare that to the old headlight, that looks like $1,000,000. So not gonna complain, but this kit probably is, you're better off just buying any other restoration kit for headlights, because this stuff not only can it like damage your car very easily, but just doesn't work as good as you would hope it to. So I hit this one with some polishing compound, and it did get a little bit better, but again, it's gonna have to be hit with like 2,000 and 3,000 grit sandpaper to get rid of all the other micro scratches that we put in here. But I'm gonna hop onto this one now. I mean, you can definitely see it did make a big difference, but there's still so much effort and time going into it that this isn't really saving anything, and I don't even know how long this is actually going to last. So, but let's move on to this one. I'm gonna skip 180 because I think that one caused some of the deep scratches that I had over here, but I'm gonna start with 320 or whatever it is, 360, and then work my way up from there, because it's not like these headlights are terrible, but I think those bigger ones definitely did leave scratches. So alright guys, so after a little while I got both headlights done, and these things actually look like $1,000,000. So obviously this one still has a little bit of deep scratches on it, and this one looks good, but for some reason it doesn't look as clear as that one. I could be wrong, but this one I only started at 600 grit on the wet sanding, while this one obviously I started at 180. I don't know if that's why this one looks a little darker, but I could be wrong. But this one came out looking good, except for like, again, this stuff it's just like a hit or miss. Like, it seems like it works good, but then it's like as you're like waving that thing around, it doesn't give you like a constant steam coming out of there. So it's like you'll be doing good, and then all of a sudden it just like stops, and then you kind of have to backtrack on where you're going. So, but anyways, these look a million times better. Would I recommend buying this kit? I would probably say it's like a 5 or a 6 out of 10, because first off, I don't even know what is in here, and it's leaking on me too. So, but it's very corrosive on the plastic, and obviously you don't want to get that stuff on your skin. I don't know what it is, and it's all Chinese stuff, so it could practically be anything. So ease of use is probably like a 5 out of 10. There's still a lot of wet sanding. There's still a lot of other prep work that needs to get involved, so it's not like a instant fix your headlights type of thing. So, but they definitely do look really good. Now the fog lights are looking a little iffy, but if you guys are interested in this, I wouldn't like recommend it, but it is cool. I'll see how long these actually last. I'm not going to put any ceramic coating or anything on these, just to see, because this is pretty much melting the plastic into a nice clear film again. So, but stay tuned for like a follow-up video, maybe a couple months down the road. We'll see how these are working. But anyways, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.